Hey again, and welcome back to Hello, my name is Alex. Today I actually want to talk about, generating leads, and it's kind of important. Business has always been a thing that I've always enjoyed. Passive income, ways of making money, all that I love, and helping people getting monetized. These are topics that are really strong, really strong areas, and these are just things to think about. Now, of course, there's other high CPM things you can go into, such as sports, finance, business, monetization. Gaming is a little bit more on the lower end. That's you kind of have to think about what you want to get into because the CPM is a really big deal, and the cost of what you want to get into, per 1,000 views varies time by time to time. These are things to think about, but at the same time, is this something you want to get into? So, and the social media platform is a big area to really expand and grow into. And you find that a lot of users and a lot of people who are on YouTube and those who are doing really well, and for those who are more invisible, you'd be surprised they have multiple channels. Easily up to like 4 to 5 channels if they're branding themselves, like what I'm trying to do myself here. You see my face. I talk about business. I talk about education. I talk about motivation. I talk about a lot of things in this channel. And that's kind of what I want to go about with this. So I don't want to niche down on one thing, but I do want to talk about many things. Now, it's not a good way. I'll tell you this, it's actually a really poor approach of doing this because it means that the YouTube algorithm kind of gets confused of where to put you in. But if you tag your stuff right and you put your titles in right, sometimes reaching out to many is a good way because it kind of puts you down to what performs better than something else. Okay, so by doing that, just going off tangent a little bit, but doing that, basically you're building kind of like your ideal funnel where you're going to go, you know what, these are several topics that I'm actually really prolific about, really strong about, and really feel passionate about, and you can talk about from years on end, which is really important. And by not niching down and just sharing your life experiences and what I have done so far with the episodes beforehand and kind of moving on to other things, it just basically gives you that broad perspective. Okay, the YouTube algorithm might be a little bit confused and change algorithm to audience because it's spitting you out with a survey of 50 to 100 people each and every time until it drops dead, and it's going to be dead for a while, or it may be dead for a long time before it actually booms and it goes for that wavy type of cycle, or the deadline, and it goes up and then down and then deadline and it goes through there. And that's kind of how the YouTube algorithm works because it's spitting out to other users. And then when new people come in, you've got them rewatching your old posts, your old videos that you put up there, and it kind of blossoms from there. So you can see it kind of builds momentum, as it goes. And that's kind of a really important way to see things and view things as well. So that's the perspective. Now, going back to what I said originally, taking this approach, networking is really key. It's extremely important. But in the way of a business sense idea or looking into this matter and what you find interesting, and I say this, but I mean when I say this, it all comes down to connection, building a real goal in mind of every video that you make, and building your videos as if it's more on a business liner, as an online entrepreneur rather than a content creator. And to go on this very quickly for those who don't understand, a content creator can spill anything they want. And they're after all the subscribers, they're after the views, they're after all that, they're after building all that sponsorship, blah, 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 blah. But the online entrepreneur doesn't treat videos like that. No. He or she treats more like every video is a video that leads to another video in order to achieve a goal of selling a product, selling what they're trying to achieve. Either it could be online courses, mentoring, or a physical product in hand, or a digital product, or whatever it is. But it's a funnel for them to make sure that every video has true value that solves almost a problem to some degree, but leads into others. So then it becomes a step-and-step process. So therefore, it's more like that they'll come back again because this is an episode that kind of leads to another one, that leads to another one, that leads to another one. It can be from 1 to 5 episodes, 1 to 10 episodes, 1 to 20, and it really narrows down a key problem that needs to be solved and breaks down the steps one at a time, because you can't fill in everything in 10 minutes. You just can't. You can't give a full-on strategy in 10 minutes. But you can break it down to many into about an hour, where it really breaks down the fundamentals of solving a key problem and really bringing real success for users to start getting out there and do it themselves. So going back with the whole idea of networking, this is key. And opening up a YouTube channel is a really good way of doing it. go to YouTube. It's a great social platform. And yes, I'm well aware. There's Instagram, there's Facebook, there's LinkedIn Learn. There's so much platforms you can go into, but ask yourself this, how far can you stretch yourself so thin till you snap? Because that's exactly what's going to happen, because you're not hyper-focusing down. That's why they always kind of preach the whole idea of networking, really staying focused on the one. And then as you build that audience, as you really fall in love with the platform you're on and really build yourself and become an influencer in your area, either direction that you take, you're networking properly to really build a true profile of yourself where people can say, this is someone who talks about this, and this is someone that I can trust on and believe in his or her work because it has helped me. These videos has transformed me. These videos has provided me a package and a method in order to really narrow down, to solve a problem and start really generating real money for myself. And so this is stuff to think about. It's just so strong. Now, here's the other empowerment for you, right? If you decide to build and really network properly and you build your community up, and I said this before, and I'll go deep dive even more so, by building your community posts and really building your email listing, you're now able to ask true questions to your users about key questions, key pinpoints, and pain points that are really kind of screaming out from them. And the more people you talk to, and you don't charge them for this, you just have that free consultation where you're going to spend the next 15 minutes with them on an actual chat with them and just talk to them and go, hey, what is the problem that you're dealing with right now? How can I help you? What can I do from here that seems to be your pain points, and jot it down. And the more you're going to find out with the more consultations you have, and just make it free for the meantime at the start, the more you do, the more you understand that people are having the same pain points over and over and over again. So by networking, this is what I'm leading to, by networking and building on your social media platform that you're on, and then really reaching out to the target audience you're after, you're now generating leads. Those leads then provides you a proper listing of key pain problems that needs to be solved. And when those pain problems gets repeated over and over and over again, of a survey of those that you've spoken to, either from your community posts or on a one-on-one basis, they then now become, okay, these are the main problems to start building, and now I have to really talk about this. These become your videos that you can create, then building a funnel, which then becomes a business approach that you can take, where then you can go, I've talked to 100 people, and out of 100 people, these are the problems that they need to be resolved. Do you see what I mean? Now, I talked to 100 people, and with these pain points, I'm going to now narrow down 5 of them right now and walk you through it. Because now you really are targeting people that really need help. They really need help. And you're now niching down, you're hyper-focusing, and now you actually got to build your business, your profile, your image of yourself around these problems. And that really becomes your channel, becomes hyper-focused in this area, not because you want to solve these problems. And I'm pretty sure you want to solve these problems anyway, because by helping them, they become long-term customers. They become the ones high-tier tickets. They're the ones that are going to buy into your products, your digital products. They're the ones that are going to follow you. They're the ones that are going to want mentoring. They're the ones that want coaching. They're the ones that need help. You really start building a real community around yourself, because YouTube is owned by Google. Right, and you go, what's the big deal if it's owned by Google? It's one of the largest companies in the world. Yes, they are. But that also means they can do anything to YouTube. They can, by tomorrow, you have to end up, maybe you have to put money down each time just to put content out there. They may wipe YouTube out completely and you have to use other platforms. That's why your email listing is so powerful, because they can still have a way to reach out to you. And even if YouTube goes away tomorrow, by instance, or whatever goes wrong, well, then your email listing is your main high-tier customers for now, and you've got those people following beforehand. So then when you build whatever platform you're on next, whatever it may be, you exist. You mean something to somebody. You have value to someone else, and you're giving value to somebody else. These are extremely important tools, guys. This is how you really build your business around these people. Again, I provide mentoring and coaching if you need to reach out to me. But if you happen to share the same niche as I do, reach out, because I'd love to collab with you. We can talk about anything. I really don't mind. That's what this channel is about. I'm not really hyper-focusing on anything in particular, but there are a few topics that I do love to be involved in. And as always, let you guys know that every comment you put down there really helps me out. It helps us, small content creators like us, to grow larger. And leave a like, put a comment down, subscribe, whatever you can, helps out every single day. And as always, like I said before, it's you guys that make all the difference, and I appreciate every single time you watch my episodes. Stay tuned to the next episode of Hello, my name is Alex. See you later next time, guys. Bye now.